All right, admit it with me. When a bee is swarming in your face, you swat it away and do everything in your power to not get stung. But bees are so very important to our environment and to us. And one local theater is hosting Bee Weeks throughout Western Mass, and their director, Jon Mirin of Piti Theatre, joins me this afternoon. Thank you so much, Jon.
Thanks for having me, Liz.
For joining me to talk about this very important topic, although bees can get a little aggravating. There's a bigger issue going on with the honeybee production shortage. And I was reading about that. It can range anywhere from drought in some parts of the country to extreme cold in other parts to even the pesticides being used. Talk about that shortage going on.
Yeah, well, in 2006, 2007, honey bees disappeared by about 50%. Beekeepers lost about 50% of their bees. And since then, it's been 30 to 40% every year. So as you can imagine, a lot of beekeepers have gone out of business, and it's just continuing. And so it's hard times for the honeybee, but it's also hard times for native bees. Some species of native bees have also just already disappeared, and others are just, the numbers are kind of plummeting. And both honeybees and native bees are really important for pollination, and of course for agriculture. Bees are responsible for 1 in every 3 bites of food we eat, so you can imagine it's going to get pretty bland.
Yeah, you're talking they affect apples and blueberries, almonds even, and that's all being affected by
vegetables, fruits. Yeah. So, I mean, that's when you sort of look at the numbers down the line, it becomes not just a beekeeping issue, not just the price of honey is going to go up issue. It really becomes an issue affecting all farmers.
Now, you guys are doing your part to bring awareness to this, and it's pretty cool how you have this twist. You're pointing out an environmental concern from all of us, but using performance art, and more importantly than just using performance art, you're reaching a younger demographic, kids.
Yeah, we do a lot of programming of family audiences, create family audiences shows, and we also have some for adults. But To Be or Not to Be, that's Be with 2 E's, is a show we've been touring for the last two to 3 years, and it's a play with music. The music is played by a great singer-songwriter named Carrie Ferguson from Northampton, and she also wrote some of the music. And basically, kids participate from the audience. They come on stage at the end of the show, and we just found that telling this story, it is the story of colony collapse disorder on one particular farmer's farm, but it ends on a hopeful note.
Now explain that before we talk about the hope. Let's talk about the despair.
Yeah.
The colony collapse disorder. You said that. Very interesting term.
Yeah. CCD, or colony collapse disorder, is the name of this phenomenon where bees just, typically if there's a disease, say, in the hive, the farmer might come and find or the beekeeper might come and find lots of dead bees. But colony collapse disorder, typically they just find everyone's just gone. There might be a few dead bees or a few living bees still in the hive, but basically the bulk of the bees are just not there. So they call it colony collapse disorder.
All right, but the show To Be or Not to Be with 2 E's, it ends on a good note, and more importantly, brings education to children and adults as well too, but to children who may have that negative connotation that, oh, bees sting me and we don't like bees and stay away from bees.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the show, the kids, after they help retransform the farm, basically the downfall, or as one journalist calls it, the original sin of agriculture is monoculture. And what this farmer has done, James, who I play, has transformed his farm over the years from a diversified farm into a monoculture of corn. And of course, bees need lots of different kinds of food to eat from early spring to late fall. Having corn lots of corn bloom in July and then nothing doesn't help bees, just the way expanses of lawn, also with a few dandelions poking up that are then mowed down, also doesn't help bees. So at the end of the show, we get some advice from a wise woman beekeeper, this Swiss character who's come to find bees because there's a honey shortage in Switzerland. Also, this is all in the context of the play. Comes back, and she comes back with a little scroll of advice, and that's sort of the teaching moment of the play. But until then, it's really just the farmer telling his story of what happened with his puppets that he's made out of objects that he's found around the farm. So this is a real bee smoker that they use to keep bees calm when they take the honey, but he becomes the bee expert in the performance. Anyway.
I love how also you had mentioned earlier there's a shortage in Switzerland going on, and the play goes to Switzerland as well too. So you guys are international.
We're based 6 months of the year in the U.S., right here in Shelburne, up there in Shelburne Falls, and 6 months in Switzerland. And we've To Be or Not to Be is the first play of ours that we've translated fully into French and are performing in French over there. We're working on a new play called In Ascenso that's going to be performed it'll actually be performed in French first before we do the English version back here. It actually connects to another issue that affects bees, which is electromagnetic radiation. So this is an easy thing people could do to help the bees and also help themselves. Just, turn off the Wi-Fi at night, use an Ethernet cable, basic things about lowering the levels of electromagnetic radiation. It's also, would help the bees.
So we've got Bee Week coming up, hitting the hill towns, coming up soon.
Yeah. Hilltown Bee Week starts, I believe it's the 10th of May. Actually, there's a little preview teaser. May 3rd, there's a bee-themed art walk in Shelburne Falls. The highlight so far of Hilltown Bee Week is May 17th. There's something called Bloom, a festival called Bloom up at Benson Place, which is a sustainable blueberry farm in Heath on the top of a mountain. Beautiful. If the timing is right, the whole place turns into these fields of white, sort of waving white, because the blueberry blossoms blossom around that time. So there's workshops for kids. There's our show at 1:30, To Be or Not to Be. There's workshops about how to make little nests for native bees, which is another way you can help native bees.
And if anybody wants any more information, they can go to our website. We'll have your Facebook page with all the information for more of the bee weeks that are hitting Western Mass. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jon Mirin from
Thanks
Piti
for having
Theatre.
me, Liz. Yeah.